Hey family, Sea Island Girl here. How are you doing? I just love my community. I am not kidding you. Like DoDash peoples. Oh man, y'all are showing me so much love, and I just really, really, really appreciate it. And I just want y'all to know that I feel the love, and I love y'all to the utmost. Okay, and I respect DoDash to the utmost. Anywho, I'm about to talk about something that is not going to be accepting to everyone. So it's about deportation, okay? And about the deportees that are experiencing this situation right now. So if you don't want to hear nothing about what I'm about to talk about, scroll up. Just go leave. Thank you for visiting. Come back another day. All right? So I got a knot on my head. Anywho, I just want to say really quick. I'm gonna tell my backstory, and then I'm gonna give out a little bit of information at the end of this video that might be useful to some people, or may not even think that it's even available to them. You know, being illegal in this country. So first off, let me start out by saying I came here legally. Okay? I came here legally. My dad left my mom, put her on an airplane, and sent us here. Of course, my mom knew what was happening. I just did not know it as a child. I was about 14 years old when I got on that airplane with my mother, thinking, hey, she said we going to a funeral. That's all I was told. And it still didn't resonate with me. I was like, who died? Who this? Who? You know, because by that point, I had experienced, I knew what that was. My grandma had died. Bob Marley had died. I knew death. All right? So we came on the airplane, and we went through immigration. We had the proper documentation. My daddy always made sure all of his children had a visa to come to the United States. So I had already even came to the U.S. for a few days with my dad in Miami, but then I went back home. And so I knew traveling, I think from the day I was born, you know. My mom even left me in my country, Jamaica, to go to the U.S. to make money for the family and bring back and sell and stuff like that. So this story is not going to be short, so please bear with me, okay? It's also kind of touching for me, but I just wanted to talk to my fellow deportees, or maybe be in process of being in deportation. You know, just hang in there. The families that are dealing with this right now, just hang in there. Just hang in. All right. So I came here on the plane with my mom, and I went through the immigration line with my mom. And then I heard the immigration officer ask my mom, what are you coming in the U.S. for? So my mom said, for a funeral. So I looked up at my mom, and I'm like, who died? I keep asking you who dead. She popped me in my mouth. Shut up. Unbeknownst to me, I wasn't going back home. I wasn't going back to Jamaica. And you talk about being a young child, the trauma of dealing with that. I think that's the first time I've ever experienced, didn't know what it was called at the time, which is depression, and just did not know what was going on. I just got numb. I got sad. I didn't talk for dang near 6 months because I was so traumatized about leaving my country. I was. So now, my mom got me into school here. Didn't have the proper papers, I guess. I don't know what else she did, but she did a lot of stuff to make sure of my well-being. All right, which I do appreciate. My mama, God rest her soul. I appreciate her, you know, trying to do her best with me. You know, I wish she had done more or educate herself more on, a child going through what I went through, to kind of nurture it a lot more. So my future, I feel like that's kind of like how my future is set up right now, because I wasn't able to get out that rut, and I got stuck. And that's why I feel like I don't want to say suffering. I just feel like that's why I struggle so hard today. And I don't have a 401k. I don't have no retirement fund. I don't have anything to look forward to when retirement come. I in my situation here now, I can never retire, because my mom didn't show me. She didn't have that mindset. The only mindset I've ever known is to hustle. Hustle for what I want. Work hard for what you want. And that's all I've ever known. All right? So my mom brought me here now. I'm going on to maybe 16, 17 now. I'm enjoying being in America. I'm enjoying the American life. I'm enjoying my American friends at this point. And then when they got to, we got to almost graduation, like a year before we graduate as friends and girls, we started talking about what we gonna do. What we gonna do when we get out of school? What we gonna do when we get out of high school? And I told them I wanted to do hair. I want to be a beautician, because I'd already been doing my own hair. I was already braiding my own hair. I was always, talented in doing a lot of things, but I loved hair. All right. Sorry, my face so swollen. I had to get up. I had to wake up and come talk about this. This is like on my brain. Like, people just need to know that, I'm praying for them. I'm praying for all y'all. All right. So please forgive my all messed up, wrinkled, sleep apnea face right now. All right. So anyway, I am going through town, city. We visiting different schools in our area, community colleges, and we went to one college, and by this point I had got a social security card, but the social security card on it says not for employment. Didn't really pay attention to it. I just know that we was talking, that these people asking for ID or social security card. I knew I had a social security number, but did not know that's not something you should be flaunting around. So then now we went to community college. College told me that I was only awarded like 20 hours 20 hours a school year. It's like 20 hours a school year. So all my friends were like, that ain't nothing. She gonna need more than that. What's going on? So they went on to try to get, registered and see about getting their grants and FAFSA at the time. And so they said, okay, well, you can't go to the community college. Let's go to the hair school and see when, how much it will be if they had grants for you to go to the hair school. So we all got in the car together and we went to go to the hair school. The manager or whatever of the school asked me to come to the back. So I went to the back, and the lady said, who gave me the social security card? I said, what you mean, who gave me a social security card? My mama did. My mama gave me a social security card. She said, where you from? I said, I'm from Jamaica. She said, how long you been here? I said, probably about 3 years, 2 or 3 years at a time. 14, 15, 16, 17, yeah, 17. So 3 years. So then she goes, well, for this information right here, you need to go home. You can't do no hair. You won't be able to be in no hair school, and you can't register for nothing. And I said, well, we went to different colleges, and so don't go to even the colleges anymore. I was like, what the hell wrong with this? Sorry. What's the heck wrong with this woman? What is she saying? She said, this information you've given me, it says not authorized for employment. You are not allowed to work in the United States. I was like, what are you saying to me? Anywho, she gave me back my card, and I was devastated. You talk about like a knife hit me in my back. That's exactly how I felt at that time. So at the time when we were going to colleges, I didn't even tell my mama I was going to look into a school or college. So my mom, I went home. At the time, my mom was a nanny and was babysitting. And was she a nanny then? Yeah, she was a nanny then, because the lady she was taking care of before then, we were on a living job. So the lady she was taking care of before it then died. Yeah, so she was a nanny at this point. So I went home to her and I said, Mama, what is this card for? She said, where you get that card? I said, you keep it with the passport and stuff. And I took it with me so we can, me and Renee could go look at colleges. She buck her head open and she said, what you found out? I can't do nothing. I can't go to no school. I can't go to nobody hair school. I can't do nothing. She said, well, when we was working with that other lady, she was helping me to get our papers right. But now that she died, it messed up. So you say I ain't got nothing? And I just like, oh my gosh. I am 17 years old. And what am I going to do now? So I said to her, what am I going to do, Mama? She said, you going to, please forgive me for this. She said, you going to clean these white folks' toilet like I'm doing. I said, oh, to heck, no, I'm not. I'm not doing that. Not to say that I was thinking I was better than my mom, or I didn't have no respect for her hustle and what she was doing. I just knew that God had something else in store for me other than cleaning toilets. I didn't want to do that. So, years gone by now, I didn't even graduate. I just went on and got my GED because it just felt like I was in this school at this point as a big fake. I couldn't go to college. I didn't have no future doing hair. And now I got to figure something else out. So she tried to get me, well, what I did was we had really hit rock bottom at this point now, because she was already, upset in her head, wrong in her head about a lot of things about me. Very, very abusive mother, and verbally, physically. And I had got to 17 at this point and liking boys and want to be having boyfriends. But she was trying to protect me because she didn't want me going anywhere, getting into trouble, getting in anything, because I was illegal. But I did not know all this. I was just thinking that's just control. She just being controlling and wanting to control my life. Anywho, now I had left. I left and went to my sister I ran away. Went to my sister in Virginia, stayed with her for a little bit, and I didn't have a future there either. I just was working, and I started taking care of a little girl. Shoot, I think I was about 18 at this point now, 18. And I started working with this family, a Trinidadian family up there in Virginia. And they treated me so sweet, so kind. And then they got an attorney to try to help me. It didn't work out for me. The attorney said I was, getting ready to kind of age out the system. So it wasn't going to work. So the only thing she could do for you right now is work. And you pay her a salary. I wasn't able to do no Social Security, file taxes, or anything like that. I couldn't, because the number I had was not for employment. So nobody's supposed to be employing me. So anyway, this family did the best they can. They did everything they can to help me. I think I stayed with them for maybe about 4 years or 5 years, I think. And then the daughter was getting ready to go to school, so then they didn't really need me anymore. So then I ended up coming back to where my mom lived, and I decided, okay, me and her relationship needs to be mended at this point, because I'm the only one she has, and if anything should happen to her, it will be me. So I said, okay, let me just try to see what I can, mend between me and my mom at this point, because I was so upset that she got me over here. And by this point, I just felt like a downer. I didn't have no future. I ain't had nothing. Anyway, now let me hurry the story up now. So years and years went by, and I'm, don't have no social, driving without driver's license at this point. I did start picking up, I started doing my own cleaning business. So then I started cleaning houses. That's how I was making my income, and that's how I was making my money. And I, just say, okay, I guess this is going to be my life. So years went by, met a friend. He wanted to help me and get married to me, and that turned out sour for a lot of different reasons. Okay, I ain't gonna harp on that. So then finally now, years go by again. This is a friend that I've known for a long time, pretty much, was like a best friend to me. Decided that he wanted to have a relationship. We ended up jumping into a relationship, getting married. Unbeknownst to me at this point, that the first relationship where I was starting my paperwork now, the person just never gave me my appointment letters, nothing in order for me to become legalized in this country. So by the time I got to the second marriage years later, by this point now, a whole certified letter box came to my mom's address, letting me know that you are in deportation and you need to get out the country by XYZ. So when the letter came, I had already, the letter was for May of 2000. I got married July of 2000. My mom got the box and documents, I want to say the end of July, August month there, that I was in deportation. So it already started the process. They had already started the process on me to be deported. And I got married. I did not have no clue that I was even put in deportation. So in that deportation box, it showed all the appointment times I had. it showed everything I had in order for me to become legalized in this country. And the individual did not tell me, did not warn me. By this point, I did have a work permit. So I was working, but didn't know the work permit has expired because I think at that point they didn't have an expired, did they have an expired date on that paper, on that thing, on that card? They probably did, but I was still out. The job still had me working. All right, they didn't go by that expired date. I finally officially, I did not go to hair school. By this point, I had fell in love with big vehicles. I had fell in love with big trucks. I had fell in love with, oh my God, all these comments are coming in. Thank you guys so much. I had fell in love with the big trucks. I had fell in love with the school bus. So my school bus was my first go-to for a big vehicle. I want to get trained on working on that. So I was so happy in my job. I just felt like I was finally. Now I'm in my 20s, maybe 27, 26 when this happened. So now I'm in my 20s, finally starting my career, I want to call it. All right. So I was put in deportation. They started looking for me. Of course, the address they had was for my mom. They had my mom's address. They didn't actually know, which I had already moved out on my own somewhere else. So they didn't even have that address. So they couldn't find me. So they came to my mom looking and trying to figure out where I'm at. At this point, my mother has her green card. And she got the green card from my sister, because she was married to my dad. So she was able to get her green card. And you talk about, geez Louise, that woman partied so hard about getting that green card. So now I'm still without, right? Which anybody would consider that being selfish, but that's just how it turned out. That's just what the cards turned out for her, all right? So now they're looking for me, can't find me nowhere. She won't tell them where I'm at. She done knocked the door. They don't knock the door. They couldn't do nothing to her because she was legal, all right? So every time they come to the door, every time she page me. Back then we had a pager. So she'll page me to call. Sometimes I call right away. Sometimes I wait a couple of hours or whatever if I'm busy or not. Because I'm cleaning houses at this point. And I'm living at another house. So she called. She said, hey, you might need to go low or whatever. You know, you might need to start going low somewhere else because they're looking for you. So now I got my little two-year-old baby with me and immigration looking for me. So I just was like, what a life to live after coming to this country and to know that people are looking for you to arrest you. It's just too much. It was just too much for me. Hold on one second, y'all. Hold on one second. That's my daughter. Hold on. All right, so I'm back. All right, so my whole thing about this is they never did catch up with me. They never did find me. Of course, it will be totally different now. And when they didn't find me, so I ended up being, getting married. And I ended up, I think I contacted Catholic Charities on how should I go about now being illegal. They're looking for me for deportation, and I'm married now. So there was a sweet lady. Oh my God, it's like she was a heaven sent. She was not heaven sent. She was an angel. So she did everything she could to help assist me in finding an attorney, giving me resources for me and my baby, and, showing me, kind of showing me the ropes on, now you're in a different arena, And for some strange reason, I don't even know. I think it's just, Jehovah protecting me, because I was working for the school bus. So why they never showed up at the school bus is I don't know. I don't know. I just felt like God was protecting me all this time. So anywho, I ended up getting an attorney, and then when I got an attorney, and then when I went to the Catholic Charities, I started realizing, oh my goodness, you as an illegal alien, you do have rights in this country to, either save your time here or save you to be here. And yes, by all means, any criminal action, anything that you have done bad while you're here, yes, I can agree with that. Taking a person out the country, sending them off. My brother did bad things. He got sent back home. My brother-in-law at the time did bad things, got sent back home. By all means, yes, I agree with that. But a person in my situation that came here ever since a child and is living as a law-abiding immigrant, it's not my fault. All of me coming here is not my fault. It's just a card that I've been dealt. So I say all this to say, not all immigrants are bad. We're not all bad. A lot of y'all, and if you have been dealt the same card I've been dealt by coming here, unbeknownst to you what was going on, put it in the comments. Put it in the comments. Let people know that we all are not bad. Our parents just, I want to say, they do what they've been taught, because they also had experience. Their mother done the same thing to them. So something happened in our culture where our mom leave us, or our mom brings us to the United States, and we're now here and we're stuck, and we got to figure, let's, like I had to do, figure out, how am I going to get legal in this country? So anyway, I was on deportation for a long time. And then when I got married, I got an attorney. The attorney started doing her homework and started looking into things, and she was like, oh my gosh, this is bad. So I was like, what is bad? She said, well, in order for you to even get legalized, now you're going to have to go to a judge, a federal court judge, because you're now, you gotta, I guess the immigration process is between you and the courts now. They need to make the decision for you to leave. It's like, oh my gosh, no. She said, yeah, you got to now. You got to go to court. So I said, when I go to court, are they going to hold me, even though I'm married? She said, I'm going to try for you not to be held, but chances are you will. Let me tell you something. I went to the courthouse, and this ain't nothing but Jehovah, man. This is nothing but Jehovah. So I went to the court. The court was full of people that immigration already detained. I was never detained. I was just going by my daily life. I was working. By this time now, I'm driving an 18-wheeler with my husband. And, the trucking company hired me with my work permit that I had. And I end up going to court the first month. Immigration officer, she spoke so bad about me and didn't even know me. She was like, I'm a fraud. I'm a scam. I don't know. I got married to, she called my husband a fool. And all I've been doing is scamming this country. what is this woman talking about? I'm looking around like, what in the world is wrong with her? I don't know this woman from Adams, and she's talking about me like a dog. So anyway, my attorney over here next to me shaking like a leaf on a tree. I'm like, what the hell you shaking? What the heck you shaking like that for? What's wrong? She said, I'm scared of this judge. I'm just scared he's just gonna tell you to go. I said, no, he's not. He ain't gonna tell me to go. So I'm in the room with about 25, 30 other people who's waiting for his decision to go back to their country, pretty much. So everybody dressed up in, their clothes, their attire. I think it was orange at the time. And I'm dressed up, cute, in my clothes. Just knew I wasn't going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere. Jehovah didn't bring me this far to just drop me like this. No, I'm not going nowhere. And I'm telling her, she's like, oh gosh, I need some of your positivity. And I was like, well, you better come on with it, because we in this to know we're not going nowhere. That's the thought process. So everybody around me kept sending home, but he kept me for the last. And this man kept me for the last for 3 years in his courtroom. 3 years. So I just don't know. I really don't know why he saved me. I don't know why he did what he did. I wish I could ask him why. And then during that process, at this point, I think I was about 6 months pregnant. And she's like, see, she now got pregnant again and they just kept bringing me in and talking about me like a dog. And I sat there for 3 years and listened to all this. 3 years. Anyway, I just wanted to share something with y'all really quick. Like when I was going through my experience. I don't know if it will bring you any kind of, I don't know if it will calm you. I don't know. I know we miss, the ones that have been sent back home. And now you're dependent on that income. Now you don't have that income no more. So now you got to get into survival mode. And you got to either get on YouTube. Get a talent. Do something with your talent. Male or female, whoever I'm talking to. Bring out something. Let this video of me talking about my experience, you come on here and talk about your experience. Talk about, if your family member's gone, how you depended on them, how the income was helping you and now you are without. Start asking for help. Start whatever it takes to get you through this. Because if they were sent back home, they'll be back. They'll be back. First before I do this, let me see if I can find this thing. I should have had it up. I just didn't think I was gonna need it from what I was talking about. I was just gonna share my experience, and now it just seemed like I need more than this. Okay, so Psalms 146:8 tells us, Jehovah is opening the eyes of the blind. Jehovah is raising those. Jehovah is rising up those bowed down. Jehovah's love the righteous. Jehovah is protecting the foreign resident. Do you hear me? Jehovah is protecting the foreign resident. He sustained the fatherless children and the widows, but he thwarts the plans of the wicked. I also want to share this with you now. that whatever you and your family are going through, just remember, you being in the United States, you have to fight. You also have rights. Your loved ones have rights. I know we've been dealt a card that, unbeknownst to us, that it ain't right. I should say, it is right in a sense, but if you overstay your time, whatever, make it right. Go home, renew your visa, and come back. All this pressure and stress we're dealing with right now ain't worth it. All right? So, let me see where I want to start with this. All right. So the United States Constitution, if you don't know, have rights in there for immigration, our immigrants. All right? If they should come to the door, you do have the right not to open your door. You can answer them. You can talk to them through the door. And if they have a warrant that is signed by a judge, you have the right to, yes, see that through the window. Open up your window. Let them put it on there. Put it on the window. You look at it. You then go outside if you want to. You don't have any attorney. You need to go ahead and immediately find one. Find you an attorney. All right. If the address, if the name incorrect, spell incorrect, you don't have to respond to that, because you can tell them that's not the correct person. Okay, now my phone is saying my storage is full. So I'm going to put some links below this video. Reach out to your Catholic charities. Reach out to your city-state consulate. If you need an attorney, there's also a website where you can get an attorney from your area. But I knew that the Catholic charities worked and helped me out. So I just want you to know that you have options. You do have rights as immigrants. And make sure you look into what I'm telling you before you just turn yourself in. Because what happened to me was not my choice. And it worked in my favor. For after 3 years, the judge to say her green card is final. She can now be a resident of the United States of America. So, you guys have a good day. I love you guys. Appreciate your support. Sorry this video was so long, but I just really needed to speak on this and share my opinion about this situation. Again, I thank you. I love you. And until next time, take it easy.